Welcome back to Talking Albums. My name is Brock Tinsley and I'm one half of the band Double Experience. I'm a full-time musician, educator, and colossal nerd. So today I thought I would take this opportunity to go over 6 albums that really mean a lot to me and have informed my existence. Now my go-to record is one you might not expect, being that I primarily play rock music, but it is Random Access Memories by Daft Punk. For those of you who don't know, this is a French DJ duo, I guess. And they rose to prominence for sampling albums from the 70s to make modern dance music. What they did for this album, though, was they actually hired session players and musicians from the era to create brand new recordings. So they would put, Nile Rodgers in a room, Paul Jackson Jr. in a room, and just let them jam for minutes, if not hours. And then Daft Punk had this library of the actual musicians who made their favorite records possible. But the entire album is kind of like a concept album, too. It's really genius. Kind of bizarre. I could gush for this record all day, but this would be my go-to record, hands down, bar none. This next album I want to talk about is one that I think more people need to hear. My band has spent a lot of time in the state of North Carolina, and that is solely due to the band He Is Legend and their album It Hates You. This was a band who were trying to separate themselves from the screamo metalcore shuffle they were lost in. At the time of its release, it was a pretty divisive and confusing record because it clearly didn't sound anything like what they did before. They almost had this Rocky Erickson meets deep fried Deftones thing going on. And with the recent resurgence of the Deftones 30 years later to a whole new generation of teenagers skateboarding and listening to rock music, I think He Is Legend's kind of due for a rediscovery. This is an album that will almost certainly challenge your definitions of what hard rock music is. This is a criminally underrated band who deserve their due. Now, when the party is over and you want to cleanse your ears of heavy southern rock music, I have a selection here for like my go-to album on a chill Sunday. And that would be Theo Katzmann's Be the Wheel. I would say 99% of modern records are, in visual art terms, little photo collages, little tiny photos stitched together to make a composite final art piece. But Be the Wheel is different. Be the Wheel is a lot more like a photographer sizing up their mark, taking a deep breath, and taking one beautiful picture, approaching a record with that sensibility to commit to single takes, to commit to small rooms with mic bleed. It's mellow, but it has a lot of energy because of that. It's like a palpable sense that you're kind of just like chilling in your living room with a band that is as electric as Theo Katzmann. Now, long before I had any concept of what music taste was, I was pretty much a dyed-in-the-wool video game player. When I was about 5 or 6, there was a certain video game that I just did multiple playthroughs of. Kind of the same way that my parents would wear out the records of Prince and Genesis and artists such as. I'm talking about the video game Chrono Trigger. Yasunori Mitsuda, the composer, was given this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, basically the job of his dreams, literally dreams. He would work himself into states of exhaustion and fall asleep at his desk making this music. And he was trying to get the sound of dreams. When I put this record on, I'm instantly transported back to those times when not only was I, soaking up music really for the first time, but I was probably learning how to read in general playing this video game. I would like act out the parts like different voices as I read along in the multiple storylines that this game had. I'm pretty sure even the first files I ever downloaded on things like LimeWire were Chrono Trigger songs. Now, there's a bit of a story behind the last album I purchased. In 2020, my band Double Experience went from touring all over the world to having to suddenly live stream. And we had never even done live streams before. So I was looking on the internet for inspiration about other successful music broadcasts that have happened to try and get some ideas. And lo and behold, I found the Mountain Stage broadcast based out of West Virginia, which is, of course, an enormous platform for launching unknown bands, specifically unknown nerdy Canadian bands like Crash Test Dummies, Bare Naked Ladies, and so on. So that really appealed to me, and this that I'm holding here is the Live on Mountain Stage 40-year anniversary Outlaws and Outliers edition. Everyone from Jason Isbell, Lucinda Williams, John Prine. There's even a cover of Space Oddity by Wilco on here. I mean, come on. Though I haven't had a chance to listen to this record top to bottom 100 times yet, I would already recommend this to anyone who just loves folk country music, but also wants to, have a piece of history too. So where do we go from here? Well, how about an album that I think will stand the test of time? And I say look no further than Stevie Wonder's Songs in the Key of Life. Shout out to my mom for this one. Stevie Wonder was 23 when he made this record. And he had already written songs like Superstition. He produced the album, sang on it, wrote the songs, played all the instruments. I mean, it's really quite something. This also counts as like a desert island album because this is a double album with a bonus 7-inch. And when I listen to the whole thing top to bottom, I really don't hear an artist laboring over the hit single. This whole record just sounds like Stevie Wonder musing and celebrating life and the possibilities of love, and it's really quite infectious. I don't think I've ever met a Stevie Wonder hater, and I'm pretty sure you haven't either. 1 in 3 people don't even like the Beatles, but I've never met someone who had anything negative to say about Stevie Wonder. And there you have it. Those are my 6 contributions to talking albums. Let me know in the comments if you're going to check out any one of these records, and more importantly, let me know in the comments what your go-to album is and what album you think will stand the test of time. I always love talking albums, and I do want to thank the Record Center and Apartment 613 for giving me the chance to do exactly that. I'll see you guys next time.